Hey, how's everybody doing? Welcome back to Ass Hat Podcast on YouTube. This is another solo video review. Before I start this review, I just want to thank Monty Warbucks, the marvelous one of the best independent wrestlers in Mississippi and one of the best independent wrestlers in the Deep South, for helping me acquire this tape. This is Great American Bash, WCW's Great American Bash. Got that crowd, I hate that WCW logo. This is from June 11th, 2000. We got Sting and Vampiro on the cover, and it says, "Flames light up the night as Vampiro and Sting enter the ring in a Human Torch match." Now this is from Baltimore. Oh, excuse me. This is from Baltimore. This is the last Great American Bash pay-per-view held under the WCW banner. Not that long after this, within a year, WCW went over, got bought up by WWF at the time, now WWE, and WWE did hold a few events under this title. This VHS was put out by Warner Brothers, which at the time owned WCW, and there's the back. It says it's an ex-Blockbuster tape. Monty paid $4.99 for it. It lists 3 matches, which is a world title match, a Living Icon versus the Kid match, and a 2-on-1 Asylum match, with 5 more explosive matches. Now, I'll show you the tape on this. Let's see, it's got all the appropriate. I've gotten most of these Blockbuster stickers off here. It says 162 minutes. And it's a heavy tape. So, that means it's the full event. So what happened at this event? Let's see, your first match, and this is for the singles match for the WCW Cruiserweight Championship that didn't even go 5 minutes. It's a very, very short match. You got Lieutenant Loco, who is Chavo Guerrero Jr., who I really don't know if he's working anywhere now. Last thing I heard, he was helping out training the women that are on the Glow Netflix show. And he's at ringside with him. You got, this is part when he was part of the Misfits in Action. So you have Lieutenant Loco, Chavo Guerrero Jr., and outside the ring you get General Erection, which is Bill DeMont, Hugh Morris, Crash the Terminator, one of our mini games. Major Guns, which is I think she might be retired, but she was a porn star, Tylene Buck. Corporal Cajun, who is Lash LaRue, which last thing I heard about Lash LaRue, he was doing matches here and there and drawing cartoons for Pro Wrestling Illustrated. And Major Stash, which is Van Hammer, and the only really thing about Van Hammer that stands out is, as far as I know, he's the one that trained the Briscoe brothers. The Briscoes from Ring of Honor, not Jack and Jerry. I'm talking about Mark and Jay. And Lieutenant Loco's taking on Disco, which I'm assuming I'm pretty sure it was Disco Inferno, and he's backed up by Conan, Tigress, which was one of the Nitro girls, if I'm remembering right, Rey Mysterio Jr., and Juventud Guerrera. Like I said, 5 minutes. It's a cruiserweight match. You got to give cruiserweights more than 5 minutes. So, kind of a thumbs down match. Thumbs down. Our next match is a tag team match to determine the number 1 contenders for the WCW World Tag Team titles. We got Chronic, which is Brian Adams and Brian Clark. Brian Adams is better known as Crush. Brian Clark was Atom Bomb in WWF. He was the Night Stalker years ago in WCW, and then he was either Mortis or Wrath in WCW. And they're taking on the Mamalukes, which is Big Vito and Johnny the Bull. Now, going in this match, I knew it wasn't going to be that great because there's nobody really in it that I give a flying fuck about. Match went almost 10 minutes. Chronic won. Our next match is an ambulance match. Now, the whole idea behind an ambulance match is you beat your opponent up so bad that you shove them into an ambulance that is at ringside. And in this match, we got the departed Mike Awesome, who I don't know how many people know, but he was some relation to Hulk Hogan, if I remember, like a distant cousin. And he beat DDP, Diamond Dallas Page, who was backed by Chris Kanyon. That's kind of surprising Mike Awesome got a win against him. And they got right at 10 minutes. Not bad. Our next match will be G.I. Bro, who beat Sean Stasiak in a boot camp match. Now, I'm not exactly sure what a boot camp match is because I've seen a couple of different ones and the rules are different, but G.I. Bro is Booker T, who I'll just flat out, I love Booker T. I got to meet him once when I was living out in Houston. Super nice guy, great sense of humor, really cool guy. Don't know much about Sean Stasiak. This is another one that got almost 10 minutes, so I mean they could have shaved a few minutes off each one of these matches, given it to the cruiserweight. Our fifth match, which is a best of 5 tables match. Damn, I don't know if I'd want to see 5 matches from these guys. You got Shane Douglas, who honestly, by the time this was happening, Shane Douglas was not really that good in the ring anymore, versus The Wall, who, this is one of the few matches from The Wall I've seen. He's now passed. Kind of a shitty match. For our 6th match of the show, we got Scott Steiner with Madeja and Sharika, his freaks. This is after Scott Steiner got all swole. And he's taking on Rick Steiner and Tank Abbott. This is the Handicapped Asylum match that was mentioned on the back of the case. Tank Abbott's the former UFC fighter. Of course, Rick Steiner, Scott Steiner are the Steiner brothers. This barely went a little bit over 3 minutes. It was shit. Really ain't much else I could say about it. Our 7th match, and it's kind of surprising he went this low on the card. We got Hollywood Hogan, who beat Billy Kidman. And it's the special guest referee was Horace Hogan. Now, this got almost 12 minutes. I'm sorry, but by 2000, I didn't want to see Hogan in the ring for 12 minutes. This was all part of the New Blood versus, what was it, the Millionaires Club thing. And yes, it's kind of nice that Hogan, actually agreed to go up against Billy Kidman, but it would have helped Kidman out a lot more if he'd gotten a win here. Alright, our 8th match, and it's just a regular match. It gets about 10 minutes. We get Ric Flair, who ends up beating his son David Flair, who was backed up at ringside by Vince Russo. Now, I have not seen maybe 10 David Flair matches, and I catch shit for this because I've said this multiple times before, but to me, David Flair was a better wrestler than Charlotte Flair has ever been. And David Flair was not good. So as far as pay-per-view is not being, it ain't really worth a shit. Alright, our next match, we got Vampiro, boom, who most people nowadays would know he's one of the commentators on Lucha Underground, versus Sting in a Human Torch match. It gets a little bit over 7 minutes. If I remember right, the Human Torch part is supposed to light somebody on fire. A Sting dummy gets lit on fire. It's not good. And then we get our main event, which gets a little bit over 17 minutes. Jeff Jarrett, the WCW World Champion, and I'm not a Jeff Jarrett hater. I grew up watching Memphis. So I've been watching Jeff Jarrett for quite a long time. He ends up defeating Kevin Nash, which I'll give Kevin Nash this. He's okay on the mic and ring. He's never been entertaining to me. And our special guest referee is Ernest the Cat Miller. So looking back at it, really, there's not that many matches worth seeing on this. I know these later WCW tapes are actually going for a decent amount of money because they're hard to come by. But I mean, besides the Lieutenant Loco Chavo Jr. versus Disco match for the Cruiserweight title, that was decent. Mike Awesome versus DDP and Ambulance match was okay. That's it. The rest of this show just sucked. And I'm actually kind of glad I gave up on WCW when I did, but that's WCW Great American Bash 2000. And like I said, thanks again to Marvelous Monty Warbucks I got this tape off him. It's been almost 2 years ago now for next to nothing. He was just happy that somebody wanted him because he has the network now. I prefer having physical copies of stuff, but that's it. So if you like this video, subscribe, give it the old thumbs up, leave a comment, and I'll talk to everybody later. Bye-bye.